Sairam students, hope all of you are doing fine. Today we will be doing a revision of chapter 8 of history and ideal ruler. We have already finished learning about the lesson, uh, and today we just summarize as to what we have learned in our first two parts. Okay, so chapter number 8 of history and ideal ruler. Okay, now who was an ideal ruler? Whom are we talking about? We are talking about Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. Okay, Maharaj first is organized. Maharaj's organizational skills. Maharaj organizational skill was unparalleled. I mean, there was no match to his organizational skills. And with this skill, he had many brave and loyal people around him. And these people were ready to risk their life for Swaraj. Okay, and we in our first part we already learned about who these people were who had ready to risk their life to for Swaraj as well as to sacrifice their life for Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj as well. Okay, so who are these people? Okay, it was Baji Prabhu Deshpande, Murarbaji Deshpande. Yes, Baji Prabhu Deshpande was on the way to Vishalgarh. When Shivaji Maharaj was on his way to Vishalgarh in the Godkhind, he had stopped the army of Siddhi. Okay, Murarbaji Deshpande, who had defended the fort of Purandar. Then we have Shiva Kashid and Tanaji Malusare. Shiva Kashid, who had disguised himself as Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj when they were held at siege at Panhala. Tanaji Malusare, Sinhagad. Yes, the episode of Sinhagad we already know. It is so famous. Then we have Jiva Mahal and Kanhoji Angre. So Jiva Mahal was there during that time when Shivaji Maharaj had gone to meet Afzal Khan. Yes, Jiva Mahal was there. Kanhoji Angre was also there with Shivaji Maharaj from the beginning, from the very beginning. So all these associates were taken care of. Yes, Shivaji Maharaj had taken care of, looked at to what they needed. All that was done by Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. So the way he organized things for them also. So because of that, these people, these associates of Shivaji Maharaj were loyal to him. Okay, now let's go ahead. While Swaraj was being established, Maharaj had constant struggle with his enemies. Yes. So how did he look after his rayat, his subjects? Yes, caring for the rayat. His subjects suffered due to enemy invasions, and at such times, Maharaj, he took utmost care to protect his rayat. He had warned the Deshmukh of Rohida Valley not to fail in his duty towards the rayat, and he had also told his soldiers not to cause any harm to his subjects in any case, whatever case, not to harm, not to harass them, not to harm any, not to cause any harm to the rayat. So this was how Shivaji Maharaj looked after his subjects, after the people of his Swaraj. Policy regarding the army. You already know that Shivaji Maharaj, we have learnt about Shivaji Maharaj's army, the cavalry, the infantry. Yes, he also had his navy. So Shivaji Maharaj had strict discipline in his army. So, and also not only that, in terms of giving them their salaries, it was given in cash. Yes, Shivaji Maharaj had made arrangements to pay salaries in time to the soldiers in cash. And during why in cash? Because at that time, during the medieval period, the concept or the practice of granting lands and jagirs was very much prominent. So the other rulers were granting lands and jagirs to their soldiers and to their noble people. So but Shivaji Maharaj had stopped that practice and he started paying the salaries to the soldiers. Soldiers were also honored for their bravery in any campaign, and if any family member or of a family of any deceased soldier was taken care of by Shivaji Maharaj. And even the wounded soldiers, if they're gone for a battle or war, they were given treatment, medical treatment. Not only the soldiers of Shivaji Maharaj army, but also enemy soldiers who had surrendered or who were caught in the war, they were also treated well if they had suffered any physical injury or whatever was there. So they were treated well. They were not treated as enemy soldiers. They were treated, the due respect was given to the enemy soldiers as well. Then we have, regarding this, Kafi Khan writes about the tolerant religious policy of Maharaj. He says, Shivaji Maharaj had framed strict rules for his soldiers that during the campaigns they should not harm a mosque. If they came in possession of a copy of the Holy Quran, they should hand over the same with reverence to a Muslim. Okay, and before that also we have this a policy of tolerance. Shivaji Maharaj struggled against his enemies, the Adil Shah, the Mughals, and the Siddhis. They were Islamic powers. Though they were Islamic powers, Shivaji Maharaj considered the Muslims in his Swaraj as his own subjects. He did not cause any harassment to them. So, like for examples, we have Siddhi Ibrahim, Siddhi Hilal, Siddhi Daulat Khan. All these were trusted men of Shivaji Maharaj. Yes, Siddhi Ibrahim and Siddhi Hilal were in the army. Daulat Khan was in the navy. So these were the trusted men of Shivaji Maharaj who were Muslims. So this shows that how tolerant Shivaji Maharaj was in terms of religious. So he had a tolerant religious policy. He treated with due respect the people of other religions as well. And Kafi Khan writes about the tolerant religious policy of Maharaj, saying that Shivaji had framed strict rules for his soldiers that during the campaigns they should not have any mosque, and if they came in possession of any copy of Holy Quran, they should give it with reverence, that is with respect to a Muslim. So that was how tolerant Shivaji Maharaj was regarding the other religions. Okay, now let's go ahead. Okay, let's see what is there. The inspiration of freedom. Shivaji Maharaj's efforts to establish Swaraj is valuable. It is the value of freedom. Maharaj did not accept the dominance of any other power while struggling against the foreign powers. He inspired others for freedom. The same way he inspired Chhatrasal to create an independent kingdom in Bundelkhand. Bundelkhand is in the northern part of India. So Maharaj inspired through his work, through the establishment of Swaraj, that how important freedom is, how important it is to have your own rule. Okay. So similarly, he inspired Chhatrasal to create an independent kingdom in Bundelkhand. Next, the greatness of Maharaj's work. Maharaj was very intelligent and mastered many arts, as well as he was conversant in many languages. We have already learned about how Veer Mata Jizabai and Shahaji Raje had done their best to give the best of knowledge, to give the best of education to Shivaji Maharaj. So similarly, he was very intelligent, good at arts, as also he knew many languages. Now, there was a blend of character and strength and nobility and valor in his personality. So, he was a person who was a lot of character, good virtues. He was strong, noble, and courageous. He had innumerable qualities like leadership, management, foresight, political diplomacy, effective policy about regional and military administration, commitment to truth and justice, and alertness, vigilance, and many more. So many of his qualities are mentioned here. Okay, next. Now, his works. Yes, so many people have written about him. Mahatma Jyotirao Phule has written a Puvada about the greatness of Maharaj. Lokmanya Tilak brought about national awakening through the celebration of Shiva Jayanti. Lala Lajpat Rai also written about his greatness. Tamil poet Subramaniam Bharati has written a poem on Maharaj, so that is in Tamil language. Not only in Tamil, even the Vishwakavi Rabindranath Tagore has written a long poem on Maharaj. And in the book Shivaji Maharaj and His Times, Sir Jadunath Sarkar has praised Maharaj. Pandit Nehru has said that Shivaji Maharaj not only belonged to the Maharashtra but also to the whole Indian nation. So Pandit Nehru was of the opinion that Shivaji Maharaj was not only a hero for Maharashtra but you can say an inspiration for the whole nation. And he was a symbol of many virtues, more especially of love of country. So that shows through his work. Shivaji Maharaj has shown that how important Swaraj was for him, how it was necessary for him to have independent state for his own, and also how a country should be independent and not dominant, because we learned that he did not accept any kind of dominance of any other power. Okay, future generations too will continue to look upon this of work of Shivaji Maharaj of founding the Swaraj and turning it into Surajya as a source of inspiration, as an ideal. And for this reason, Shivaji Maharaj is known as the great national hero. So, not Shivaji Maharaj had inspired freedom for in that time also, today also, and in future also. The future generations will look up to him. They will get an inspiration, yes, as to how he laid the foundation of Swaraj and wanted to turn it into Surajya. So that inspiration is very much important in today's time as well. Not only in India, other countries also are inspired by the work, by the greatness of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. So, for that reason, he has been called as a great national hero and an ideal ruler. So, this makes this Maratha warrior a great ruler, an ideal ruler. So, I hope you have understood this, yes, children. And then here we finish our lesson. We finish the revision of the lesson. Meeting next, we'll be starting a new lesson. Till then, stay safe. Have a good day. Sai Ram, children.